Hey, it's George Brown here, and welcome to video 3. And in this video, basically what I'm going to be showing you is I'm going to be showing you how to create what's called or what I like to call the foundations of your Sniper site. Okay, so if this is your first Google Sniper campaign, then please listen closely. Okay, if you're someone more experienced, it's likely that you'll already be able to do some of this stuff, but there's still going to be some tips in here you're probably going to want to pick up that are specific to the way we do things at Sniper, and obviously it does work pretty well, so I highly suggest watching even if you're more advanced. Okay, so first of all, the first thing I want to explain is just kind of a brief overview of obviously how the internet kind of works, and obviously at the core of the internet is essentially websites. Okay, so if you're going to do anything online, really, you are going to need some form of a website. Now in Google Sniper, we do things slightly differently. You know, we're not going to be building a website in the normal sense. We're not going to be doing any coding, and as you'll see, you know, our Sniper site is literally going to be set up within minutes with basically no work at all, as I'm going to show you in this video. However, it is still physically a website, and there's going to be two major components to a website. Okay, the first component is going to be a domain name. Now, a domain name is essentially www.whatever.com, with the whatever part being what's called your domain name. Okay, so for example, if you go to google.com, that is a domain name, Google. Okay, if you go to facebook.com, the domain name is Facebook. Okay, so you need a domain name. Now with Sniper, as you've hopefully read in the manual, it's super simple. Basically, what we're aiming for is your domain name is simply going to be your keyword. Okay, so if your website is how to lose weight quickly, your website is ideally going to be howtoloseweightquickly.com or howtoloseweightquickly.org or something like that. Okay, or maybe adding on, you know, another word on the end or something like that, but essentially trying to get as close to that as possible. And that's all covered in the manual, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But essentially, you've got that one component, your domain name, and the second component is going to be hosting. Okay, now if I had to explain that to you, you know, your website is essentially an asset, and to have that asset, you know, you can't have that running from your computer because your computer's not always on, so you need it to kind of run you know, out there in the cloud, you know, sort of 24/7. You need your website to operate, so you need what's called hosting, because then all your files that form your website and create your website, or your Sniper site in this case, you know, can always be accessed by the public, and people can always visit your site. Obviously, if people can't visit your site, you're not going to make any money. Now, these are really basic things, and the majority of you watching probably, you know, already understand what a domain and hosting is, but I just wanted to kind of remind everyone. And the next thing I'm going to do in a minute is kind of cut through a lot of the crap out there and just give you guys you know, an actual good hosting company to use, and a cheap one as well, but we'll talk about that in a second. So essentially, those are the tools that you're going to need to actually host your Sniper site, host your business. Whatever it is you're going to do online, it doesn't matter what system out there, you're always at some point going to need a website, and that is the fact, and you're going to need hosting. The good news is, for those of you that are completely new, it's extremely cheap. Okay, you're looking at about, you know, $5 a month or something like that. I mean, it's incredibly cheap, and that is hosting for several websites, not just one. Okay, so that could mean you can have 10 Sniper sites. So that means, sure, for your first one, you're going to have to spring for that $5 a month. Now, for those of you watching that are complete noobs, I want you to understand that this isn't like some extra, you know, I'm kind of pushing on you as you know, as someone that's joined Google Sniper. Okay, this is just the absolute basics that you need. It's a bit like me telling you, in order to write something on a computer, you're going to need a keyboard or something like that. You know, it's kind of, or Microsoft Word. It's kind of, you're just going to need these certain things. Okay. Yeah, so the good news is it's really cheap. So no matter how many you have, for example, my account here with this particular host, you know, I've got, I think, 30 or 40 websites on here. Okay, and that's all on one thing, all for $5 a month, and I've had it for, I think, 6 years now. So it's pretty good. Now there are obviously more expensive ones, but they're not worth doing, and we're going to go into those in a second. Now the real quick thing I do want to cover is, obviously I did say if you don't want to spend any money at all, you can actually set up a free site, a completely free site, using WordPress.com, and then your domain will be, howtoloseweightquickly.wordpress.com. Okay, and to do that, all you do is you go to WordPress.com and you click on Get Started. And then you kind of just go through, you sign up using your email address, you invent a username, you create your blog address, which would be, how to lose weight quickly, just for this example, keyword.com WordPress. It's super simple. Little spelling error there. That's what you would use, blah, 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 and then you just go through it. However, and this is really important, I really do not recommend that you do this, and the reason for this is essentially Google Sniper, or Sniper as a strategy, relies on Google. Okay, it relies on our ranking in Google, and Google doesn't really like these free websites that much. Okay, so it's a good place to start if you really do not want to spend any money whatsoever. Like I said, sniping can be 100% free. However, I highly recommend, if you're serious about this, or you do need to get yourself a website host, and any course you buy, and anyone who's not totally full of rubbish is going to tell you that you're going to need a host. Okay, so you can do this way. I just wanted to show you it really quickly. But moving on, let's create the foundations of your Sniper site. Really quick, what else am I going to show you in this video? I'm not just going to show you how to find a domain, how to get the hosting. I'm also going to show you how to change the kind of look and feel of our Sniper site really quickly, to pick a theme, it's called, within WordPress, and also some really essential plugins that we're going to need for our Sniper site later on. Okay, so that's what's going to come at the end of the video. So it's quite an important video, this one. Okay, now the next thing is actually setting up the site, which I'm going to do in a second. But first, I just want to talk for a second about hosting companies. Okay, so there's a lot of hosting companies out there, and to be honest with you, there's a lot of companies which, while they do deliver a good product, hosting, they deliver it for too much money. They kind of, to be honest with you, it's a bit upsetting. They try and kind of confuse the consumer into thinking you need to spend $30 a month, for a hosting plan, when actually there's perfectly good ones out there for $5 a month. And the reason people recommend those is because they make more money referring you to those. However, we're not about sort of putting the crap out there with Sniper, as I hope you know. So I actually recommend the one that I use, which is a cheap one. It's been really reliable. Like I said, I've had a couple of issues with them over the past 6 years, but nothing really. And I've hosted so many websites with them. I've got multiple accounts with them, and they've been great. And also many snipers use them as well. And they're going to be Bluehost. Okay, just to give you an example of a different service, but even Bluehost. So here's the service I recommend, essentially, which is just going to be your basic hosting. Okay, and what that's going to be is it's going to be $275 a month. This is a deal they have going at the moment. When you watch this video, this may not be going, I'm afraid. I apologise. And that's only, I think, if you sign up for like 3 years or something as well. So you may not want to do that anyway. But normal price, it's going to be $7 a month. It's so cheap, especially because you're getting unlimited hosting. You can have as many web visitors as you want. And by the way, I've used this. I've had millions of visitors to my websites with Bluehost. I've really kind of exploited them. For example, this site you're on right now, the Google Sniper members area, because we get so many visitors, I have to host it on what's called a dedicated server, and that costs me $1,000 a month. Okay, but for many of my Sniper sites, I have them on Bluehost. And like I said, I've put millions of visitors through them, and they do hold true pretty much to their unlimited hosting. They're a really good company to work with. Now, here's the example I want to show you. Bluehost are even doing it, and they're doing this thing called optimized hosting for WordPress. Now, as you know, WordPress is fantastic, and that's what we're going to be building our Sniper site on, the platform. It's going to enable us to build it really quickly without any code. Google loves it, etc. It's awesome. However, Bluehost, and if we click Learn More here, you're actually going to see they're telling you it's going to be $35 a month. Okay, now this is low. There are some companies out there which say you need to spend, you know, upwards of $70 a month, okay, you know, to get optimized hosting for WordPress. But here's a big tip for you guys who saved a lot of money watching this video. You don't need that hosting, okay. You can just get the basic hosting. It's super simple. Just get the basic hosting, and then once you're inside, you can just install WordPress with the click of a button. You don't need to fall for the for those marketing ploys, okay. So hopefully I've kind of steered you out of the woods there. And you know, there's a lot of companies out there for hosting, so by all means use whatever one you want. You know, you certainly don't need to use this one, okay, but like I said, it's the one I use. So all you need to do, for example, if you were going to use Bluehost, is right below this video there's a link right there. Click on that link. It's going to take you over to bluehost.com. It's going to take you to a page just like this one for snipers, and then you're going to press get started now. Here you go, and then basically this is the sign up page. Like I said, this may have changed as well slightly, but it should be basically the same by the time you come along. And here you're going to type in your domain name, okay. So this is what I said earlier. So for example, for this sniper site, I know that domain is taken, so I'm just going to choose one which I'm sure won't be. So how to lose weight within 65 days. It's a very unusual one, and I'm just picking it as this example because I'm sure it will be available. So if we click next, congratulations, it's available. If it's not available, for example, if I had to lose weight quickly, because that's quite a common keyword that, as we identified in the last video, has quite a lot of competition, it just says it's not available, and it gives you option to change it. Okay, that's all. But just to proceed quickly, I just chose one that I know will be. All you do is type in first name, etc. You don't need a business, don't worry about all that stuff. Email address, etc. Then you click your package information. As I said, 36th month price. They're trying to charge you $275 a month. However, check this out, 12-month price, which is what I would go for. That's going to, you know, basically once you build your sniper site and once you're making money, you know, you could easily pick the 36-month one, to be honest. You know, it makes no difference to me, but you know, just to start with, it's probably going to be, I mean, to be honest with you, when I started online, I picked the 12-month one. To just pick the 12-month one, it's not even $6.99 a month. That's pretty cool. It's $3.75 a month, nice and easy. You don't need any of the extras, to be honest with you. The only one you might want is domain privacy protection. That's just so no one can see who owns the domain, but I don't see why you would need that. You don't really need anything here, to be honest with you. Site Backup Pro, I mean, any of this stuff, to be honest. And you can look into the information. You can use it if you want. Search Engine Jumpstart potentially could be worth it. Not really sure. And you're just going to go ahead and sign out, into your credit card information, and you're done. Okay, super simple, and that's how you do it. Like I said, don't have to do it with Bluehost. Do it with whoever you want. Okay. Then once you've created your account, or if you've already got a hosting account, now's where it gets interesting. Okay, now we're actually going to build our sniper site. So you're going to come into your hosting panel, and hopefully you're going to have one that has cPanel. Okay, if you don't have a hosting account that has cPanel, well, you're either a very advanced programmer or you made, I'm sorry to say, a terrible choice. Okay, so hopefully your one has cPanel. They all should, and it's just going to look like this, and it's going to give you a whole load of buttons which make it kind of easy to tell a bunch of things. For example, if we scroll down here, you're going to see AW stats and a bunch of other things here, latest visitors, and you later on, when you're getting visitors and you're making money from your sniper sites, you're actually going to be able to see the number of people coming, how many people came this day, how many people came that day, etc. It's kind of cool. But what we're going to focus on now is just creating the sniper site. Super simple. And what we're going to do is we're going to look on this page for WordPress. That's it. This is why you don't need that really fancy $35 a month you know, hosting or anything. Okay. So for Bluehost, it's right here at the top, nice and easy, and it's just going to click on WordPress right here, nice and simple, and then that's going to bring up a page. And what this is going to do is this little creator it's going to kind of create our sniper site for us in the background without us really doing any work. Okay. So how do we do it? Well, you come to this page and we're just going to click install a brand new instance. So we're installing something new. If in import, don't bother with any of that stuff. It's install a new WordPress blog. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, so I just click on that and then we wait, and then you're going to select which domain you want to install. So if you've only just signed up, your likelihood is you're only going to have one. Okay, so you're going to have you're just going to have howtoloseweightquickly.com, or whatever, or that's just an example. Okay, in this example though, because I've got very many, I'm just going to pick. You don't want to pick the ones with www, by the way. You want to scroll down and pick without www, because that's the actual site that you're building on. And then that's all you do, is you click your domain and you click check domain, and that would be all you do. Now in this instance I actually have some stuff over at George's Club which I just used for some examples, so I'm going to put it in a directory. So the domain of my sniper site isn't going to be georgesclub.com, it's going to be georgesclub.com/sniper site, for example. Okay, super simple. For you, obviously, it's going to be howtoloseweightquickly.com. You don't want to enter anything in this field, because otherwise that's where it's going to create your sniper site. And if anyone goes to howtoloseweightquickly.com and doesn't type in that /, they're kind of going to be a little bit confused as to why there's nothing there. So just don't fill that in, basically. Okay. Now we're just going to press check domain. It's going to check the domain. May take a couple of minutes. See how we go. In the meantime, guys, I hope you're enjoying video 3. You're sort of coming along with your sniper site now. You've done the hardest parts. You've picked your product, you've picked your keyword, and those may have taken a while. And they're actually, especially if it's your first time, those are the hardest parts. Now that that's over, building the site is actually extremely easy and simple. And then for your next site, finding the keyword and finding the product especially will be much easier. Don't worry. Okay. All right. So last step, we're almost there. Now we just want to show advanced options. Now this may look slightly different on your screen when you sign up, but just there'll be something like this there, and you're just going to give your site a name. Okay, so site name or title. So for example, what we're going to do is we're going to call this, just for this example, I'm just going to call it sniper site. But for your example, it's going to be the same as the domain, or it's going to be your keyword. Okay, so essentially, if your keyword was how to lose weight quickly, this would be how to lose weight quickly. Or if your domain was get 6-pack abs in a month, it would be get 6-pack abs in a month. Okay, it would just be something like that. Okay, that would be the title of your site. Now, if you wanted to make it a bit clever, you could add on something like that. Adding on how to or tips to the end or something like that isn't going to affect it in any way. It just makes it a bit more readable. Okay, so that basically they're just going to put the keywords you found in the previous video. Then you're going to create your username, so you can just make that pretty much whatever you want. I'm just going to make mine George. And then I'm just going to put George here as the password as well for the time being. Leave that ticked. I'm just going to press this, and I'm going to press install now, and that's it. We've done. All we've done is press literally 2 buttons, gone from 2 different screens, entered in a tab, and that's just going to automatically create this site for us, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to press install now. Now, if it comes up with any this is again, the field must be between. Okay, so we need to make a password. So what if I put it as George123 and George123? I'll just put it as that. Alright, so we're just waiting for it to install. Now, some of these hosts, what they'll do, Bluehost isn't too bad, but some of them will now present something to you. Okay, so Bluehost presents something little to you. They kind of say there's a progress bar, etc. Actually, it's already set up, is the likelihood. So you just need to close whatever they're offering you. These themes, we're actually going to get them for free. So we're just going to go ahead and close that. And the likelihood is, you can see a bar right up here, and you can see it actually being created. But the likelihood is it's actually already created. So if we tab over here to Google, probably already go there right now. and I just make this a little bit smaller for you so you guys can see it. And you can see actually the process is done, your install is complete. That was super quick, bam, done. 20 seconds, and you'll see now that our thing is built. So if we go to what was it, georgesclub.com/sniper site, you'll see this very shell, and it's only a shell, but it's still there, is here of your sniper site right now. Pretty cool, isn't it? So this is it right here, and then from here what we're going to do is we're going to go in and log in, and then we're going to if I just full screen this, we're going to go ahead and actually I'm going to show you how to pick a theme. We're going to make this look a whole lot better and get some plugins, but your sniper site is there. It took pretty quickly indeed. And now, so to continue, what we're going to do is we're going to build the actual, we've got our sniper site set up, and now we're going to kind of set up a few little foundations, okay? And the first step of that is I want to, for those of you that have never used WordPress before, for the complete beginners among you, just introduce you to WordPress basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down over here on the left, and we're going to click login. Okay, just like I showed you a second ago, and basically this is just your login page, and this is going to kind of provide you access to your whole sniper site. Okay, so I'm just entering let me just enter that in again, not sure if I did that right. The username and password you created a minute ago when we installed the WordPress blog. We're going to press remember. I'm just going to press login, and then what this is going to do is essentially, this is how you log in to actually, I guess you could call it the back office of your sniper site. Okay, this is where you kind of will be building your sniper site. This is where we'll be creating a lot of the content. We're going to go ahead and actually do a lot of the setup work now. I'm going to show you how to make your site look a lot cooler really quickly, look really nice, so that it looks nice to you and also to your visitors, and hopefully it makes you a bit more money. I'm going to help you install some pretty crucial little plugins that will give you a big boost in the eyes of Google, and therefore help your site as well. And then later on we're going to be doing a few more things, and you're going to be creating your actual posts and everything, all within this sort of command interface, I guess you could call it, that we're seeing right here. Okay, so this is like the back office of your sniper site. So there's no coding at all. It's actually super simple to use. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, I don't want you to get overwhelmed by anything. This jetpack and things like this here, we're just going to close that down. We don't need that stuff. You don't need to buy anything. Okay, I've kind of gone over that a lot in this video. Don't buy any of the upgrades that you might see here and there. They're just companies, they're trying to put adverts there and just trying to make a bit of money, understandably. Alright, so the first thing that I want to show you guys how to do is, so we're here at the dashboard, and the first thing we want to do is I want to show you how to make your site look a bit cooler. So what we're going to do is we're going to be choosing what's called a theme. Okay, now it's super simple. All we're going to do is we're going to come in here to, so you've got a bunch of tabs here. So for example, posts, that's going to be the content you're making. Plugins we'll go over in a minute. Marketplace, you don't need to worry really about that. But we're going to go over appearance, okay? And this might vary a little bit on your one. It does tend to vary, okay, depending on what hosting company you've got and things like that. But so we're going to go into appearance, and then we're going to go into themes, okay? Now, just as a reminder, just to show you really quickly what that site actually looks like at the moment. I'm just going to pull that up here. So this is what our sniper site looks like at the moment. Not very impressive. Now, here we've got a bunch of themes basically, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a new theme. And these themes, within one click, completely change the way a website looks, okay? Now you have to remember that they change as well depending on once you've added content. So you can see the theme we have now, actually, if I zoom in, looks like that once it's got content, which looks quite nice, whereas right now obviously it just looks like this, very basic. Okay, that's because we haven't written anything yet, but we will. So Anyway, what we need to do is we need to add a new theme. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come over here on the right. Like I said, this may look slightly different on yours, but basically you're going to themes and you're just adding a new theme. And then once in there, it's pretty cool, you know, because this is something that when I first wrote Google Sniper, used to take quite a lot of time. You have to go to a separate website and do a whole bunch of stuff, whereas now it's actually very, very simple. You can do it right within the WordPress blog, which was really a bit of a revolution in terms of, you know, making it even easier than it already was to kind of make money, you know, and get these sniper sites up. So we're on the theme marketplace. Now what I like to do is, you've got a whole bunch of ones here. Now we're looking for ones, I kind of talk about this in the manual, but not every theme is going to work, okay? So this theme, for example, is not going to work, this one's not going to work. A lot of these themes aren't really going to be what we want for what I would call maximum conversions, okay? And when I say maximum conversions, you know, I say it in a slightly different way in the manual. What I mean is the site that's going to make you the most money, basically. The site where people are going to go to your sniper site and they're going to click through to your link to buy the product on ClickBank that you just picked, okay? That's basically what I'm saying. So you don't want some themes which are kind of more focused on looking at pictures or something like that. No, people are coming to our site with a focus. We want to get them interested and we want to get them off to something that they can buy, okay? So for our themes, for example, I'm just scrolling through some here. The ones that typically work best are ones like this, okay? So we can press preview, and that's going to actually bring up what that theme would look like. And this is a good theme because it's a nice, simple theme. Okay, we're going to have our posts here, which are going to be talking about whatever subject you know, we're doing, whether it's six packs, whatever it is. And then over here we're going to have some information about us and a few other things. And this is what I like to call one of the templates that's going to work best, okay, for a sniper site. Now, there's a lot more information on this in the manual. Oops. So I've come back now. I'm just going to go back into add new theme. So what I'm going to do here, so I'm not spending too much time because I'm aware this video is already pretty long, is I'm just going to pick a kind of theme at random, and we're just going to roll with that one. Okay, so if I just scroll through here, see what we can find, see which I think's the best looking one. I personally, you know, I'm not the most design heavy guy. It's always a real challenge for me to design new things like the sniper members area, for example. See, and certain themes I just want to show you actually, right, but I prefer simpler themes is what I'm getting at there. But I just want to show you this really quickly because this is an interesting theme. If I press that preview, here we go. If you had if you were focusing on the ladies of the world, for example, so for example, if you had a sniper site that was, you know, related to, you know, pregnancy or something like that, perhaps this might be a good theme. It's quite nice. Or, you know, one that was related to romance, things like that. This would be a good theme for that, okay? So different themes fit different niches, so bear that in mind when you're picking, okay? Or you can just kind of pick a simple one. For example, this one right here is quite good. It's got the books. It looks fairly educational, and if you look educational, people are going to kind of trust you, okay? So that could be a good one right there. There's loads of these themes, you know. It's certainly not hard to choose, you know, a good theme for a sniper site. There's so many out there, and it's, you know, it's quite a fun activity as well. As you can see, I'm kind of getting a bit involved here. I really do love building these little sniper sites. So if I just pick one here, let's just keep going. As you can see, you can pretty much just scroll it through forever, and it's amazing. You can just install any of these just with one click, and the difference between them is huge. It really is. So for this example, let's say I'm just going to go ahead and pick something. I'm just looking for something that's a little bit more, I feel, closely related to my niche, but also something that's, you know, not too complicated just for this example. This one could be okay. Let's have a look at this one. So we just press preview, look at that. To be honest with you, I think this one will do. As you can see by this button up here, it has a little sidebar and stuff like that. Here it doesn't have it because it hasn't been enabled. But you know, I think this one will do pretty well. I'm not sure about that pink though, to be honest. Let's just keep having a look. I think there was one I saw up here that was quite nice. I quite like this one, base. This is quite a nice theme. I've actually used this one before. It's really simple. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with this one. Now, when you've picked the theme you want to use, okay, let's just press close on that. You can see the theme right here on the right. All we're going to do is we're going to press install. Okay, really simple. That's it. We're going to press that one button right there. And we're just going to go through a little process now, and this process is just going to completely change the look of our website. Okay, so you can see in the background here, WordPress has gone and done all this work for us, successfully installed the theme. So the theme is now installed. The next thing you need to do is you need to activate the theme, otherwise it won't be live. So it's now activated. Now I can switch back to this one right here, which is the one we had before, because they're already installed, okay? Or we can stick with this one like we want to do. Now to show you the change, if I go right here and I click refresh, you'll see this page change completely. Bam, and that's it. That's how simple it was. We've got a completely new blog. Now, in my opinion, this is a much better theme, because we're going to have, you know, what our site's about right here. Then we're going to have our posts right here. We're going to have, for example, our first link to the ClickBank product, really visible, really nice and easy to see. Excuse me. We're going to have our About Me post over here. This is a nice and simple one, you know, but there's so many you can choose. I don't want you to just stick to the simple ones. In some ways it's too white, you know, it may not be the best, but I've used it before, like I said, and it's certainly good enough for this demonstration. Okay, so after that, we're going to come back in here. We've picked our theme. We're going to head back to the dashboard. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up some plugins. Okay, now the purpose of these plugins is essentially to help us in various aspects of our sniper sites. Okay, so one of them is going to make our links look more attractive, which I'll explain later on in another video, and a few of the others, they're going to kind of help Google to find us and basically get more people to our website by ranking a little bit higher in Google. They're just going to kind of give us a bit of a sneaky little head start. Okay, and to do that, all we're going to do is we're going to go over here again, over to the left hand side. We're going to click on plugins, and then we're just not going to go to install plugins. We're going to go to add new. Okay, now this used to be even more of a pain, to be honest with you. You used to have to go to a separate website, download a huge zip file, get an FTP file transfer protocol thing, and upload it to your website. And you know, and even then, sniper sites only used to take a few hours. So this again is something which has helped us a lot. Now there's loads of plugins that do all sorts of stuff, and some of them you might find really useful. So it's definitely worth having a look through. And plugins are essentially things that come in to assist you with the way your site is built, and they're unique to WordPress, which is pretty cool, because otherwise, if you had a regular website with coding, etc., you would have to build all this functionality in yourself. But anyway, I don't want to bog you down too much. Okay, now the first thing that you're going to need to get is a really important one. Okay, and this is something you can see I've searched that before, obviously, is the all-in-one SEO pack. Okay, now this is a plugin some of them have come in more recently, but this one I've recommended since the very beginning. It's very core to since I wrote the very first Google Sniper Manual, this is very core to your whole sniper site, and it's just going to help your site, because ultimately what we want to do, obviously, is we want our sniper site to, for example, be at the top when someone searches how to lose weight fast. Okay, this is going to help you substantially get up there in the rankings. Okay, so we're going to type that, and then you click search plugins. Then you have it here. Now if you want more information, you can go ahead and click details, and like I said, this may look slightly different on you know, on your screen when you're going through it, but it should be basically the same. So the all-in-one SEO pack, etc. Just going to press install now. Okay, now this is a really key plugin, and it does need to be configured as well, but this is something I go over in the manual with the plugins, or if not, that it's covered in a later video. Okay, so in this video I'm just showing you how to get the plugins. So the next thing you want to do, obviously with each of the plugins we're going to do, you just want to activate the plugin while we're here. Okay, now because this is a new site and we haven't built any content yet, we're not going to worry about actually filling it in or anything. We're just going to activate it for the time being, and that's enough stuff. So plugin activated, you can now see it here under the list, all in one SEO pack, blah 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 blah. And now we just proceed to the next one that we're going to do. Okay, we're going to press add new, and this next plugin is actually really key as well, and it's a big time saver, and it's called the Pretty Link Cloaker. If I just type in Pretty Link Lite we're going for. There's a paid version, but you certainly don't need that. Pretty Link Lite, this is all we need, and basically what this is going to do is it's going to make our links look better. So those big long links you've got from ClickBank, we're going to go ahead and make those look a lot more attractive so that more people click on them basically, and more people visit the website of the product that you're promoting as an affiliate essentially. Okay, so we're just going to press install now. So it's really simple, exactly the same thing, and just give that a second to install, and then we're just going to press activate plugin again. And then we're just going to do this for a few others. Okay, so if we go over here again, over to add new, just going to go a bit faster now. There's another one we want to get called StatPress Reloaded, and what this is going to do, this is actually a pretty cool plugin, because oh, where is it? I think I've typed it in wrong. Hold on a second here. StatPress, is it reloaded? Do they still do the reloaded version? Here we go. Yeah, exactly. We got there in the end, guys. And then what this is going to do basically is this, the reloaded. The reason I wanted the reloaded is, as you can see, it's a slightly improved version or highly improved version of the StatPress. This is pretty cool because this is basically going to let you see how many people are visiting your sniper site, which is obviously a really important thing to know. Okay, now this wasn't in the original sniper, so this is pretty cool as well, that you can now just within the actual blog itself track within this page, as you're seeing right here, track, oh, I've had 50 visitors today, or this week I've only had, I've had 100 less visitors than I did the week before, what's going on? And it will help you identify problems with your website, or that the site's doing particularly well. For example, you might have 10,000 people visiting your sniper site a month, but you're not making any sales. But the fact that we know you're getting that many visitors, that can help weed down what the problem might be, and then we can fix it, for example. Okay, so that's a really cool one. So we got those three. We're just going to add a couple more in here. We're going to add in WP Super Cache. And what this is going to do is basically, you all know what a website's like when it loads slowly. It's not that good, and often you might go to a website looking to lose weight, for example, and if the site's going to take 15 seconds to load, you're never even going to read it, you're just going to click away. So what this does is it just kind of makes your website load a little bit faster, okay, which again, this can really help, especially if your sniper site ends up making a lot of money. You're going to be thankful you got this one, getting a lot of visits, because even though it's not going to make a huge difference, it's going to make you, let's say, 10, 15, 20% more money potentially, okay, just because you're not losing those people as much that have a slow internet connection, okay, that don't want to wait for your website to load. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to press add new again, and we're going to add in something called DigDig. And DigDig is basically a plugin which is going to kind of allow you to do some integration with social media. Okay, now this isn't something we're going to do right away. The core of the sniper system isn't necessarily about that, but it can't hurt if someone likes your website and then they share it with their friends on Facebook. It's going to do really well, and particularly if we move on to bulletproofing your sniper site, this is going to really help you out. Okay, so DigDig, we're just going to press install now. Like I said, this isn't one we're going to worry about straight away, but this is something that will be helpful in the future. Go ahead and press that. We're going to activate the plugin. Okay. Give it a second there, and now you can see all the plugins that we've got: StatPress Reloaded, WP Super Cache, Pretty Link Lite. We've got them all here, okay? And then there's just two more that we need, and we're done. And these ones are really simple. I don't even really need to spend much time describing them, okay? One of them is Google XML Sitemaps. This is just going to allow Google to kind of come into our sniper site and you know, and index it a little bit easier, okay? Which is pretty simple. So that means obviously Google is going to need to visit our website in order to actually put us on Google, basically, and this is just going to make it as easy for them to do as possible. Okay. Now, in terms of which one we're going to go for here, typically it was Google XML Sitemaps. However, this one does look pretty good. Let me see. I don't know. I think I'm just going to stick with the original one. Stick with this one here, Google XML Sitemaps. And press install now. Super easy. You know the process by now. So we get our themes, we install them, we come in here, we just install a few of these. Obviously, if I'm not talking so much, it doesn't take half as long. And then finally, there's just one more that we're going to go ahead and install, and that is auto privacy. Just going to type that in. Hopefully that will bring it up for us. And this is just an automatic terms of service and privacy policy, which is something you need to have by law on your website. Now, obviously, it's a pain to write this stuff. So what this does is it just makes it for you, which is nice and easy. So it gives you an automatic terms of service and a privacy policy on your website. Nice and easy. And then we activate plugin. And that's it. We're done, okay? So we've got our SEO pack, we've got our automatic terms of service and privacy policy, so we're, you know, up to date with everything we need by law. We've got our dig in case people want to share links to our blog on Facebook, get us some more visitors, and we might be using that later on. We've got our sitemaps to help Google as much as we possibly can, you know, find and index our website. We've got Pretty Link Lite, which we'll be using later on in a video, as you'll see. We can StatPress Reloaded. We can see how many people are visiting our sites, and then finally we've got the Super Cache, which is kind of going to allow people to visit our website and it load a lot faster, okay, which probably save us a few sales. Okay, so just going to head back to the dashboard. We've got our theme installed, and that's it for this video. We have now created, you've now created, if this is your first one, the foundations for your first sniper site. So well done. Head back to the manual now, and I will see you in the next video. Later on, we're going to be configuring some of these plugins. Not all of them need configuring, but some of them do. And we're going to start actually populating our sniper site with a bunch of different content and other stuff. So all pretty exciting stuff to come. Head back to the manual, and I'll see you in the next video.